Welcome to Almost Agreeable.
Almost Agreeable.
With your hosts, Chris Nellison and Ed Harris. Hang around and listen to opinions on sports, movies, music, and whatever else pops in our head.
All right, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Almost Agreeable podcast. I'm Chris. With me, as always, is Ed, and we have a guest with us today to help us talk about NFL Week 16. Kyle, say hello.
Hello, what's up? It's Kyle. I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back.
So, Week 16 proved not just to be a crazy week of football with some of the things we saw, but major playoff implications.
Is wild.
And if we had any questions going into Week 16 about the playoffs, we came out of Week 16 with more fucking questions.
Yeah, I mean, really, a lot of teams were eliminated, and then it brought a couple teams back into contention. A few teams were like, oh, okay, these teams left, so now I can actually make it, and some teams now control their own quote-unquote destiny.
Right. Well, and then that's another thing, too, is like there are obviously teams, like you said, that are controlling a win and they're in.
Yeah.
And then there's teams where it's like, yeah. A win, but also you need to lose. But everyone's getting loses.
These 16 other things need to happen.
Yes, and so it's complicated for that. I know, just being bitter still, Raiders lost on that Saturday night game, and were eliminated automatically. But if they had won, they would have been eliminated the next day because Baltimore won. Mm-hmm. So we do things ourselves. We eliminate ourselves from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Take ownership.
Exactly.
I'm about it.
Yeah, like adults.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about some of the playoff things, but if you guys want to get into any games, specifically, like we don't have to go through all of them like we typically do, but there are some games we want to talk about, let's hit them here at the top.
I mean, we definitely just have to hit on the Christmas game because Kamara rushed for six touchdowns.
Yeah. Actually,
did he rush for all six? I thought he
rushed for six.
He rushed for six. Do you know how many touchdowns Ezekiel Elliott has this year? On the year?
No, I don't. But I know
5.
Oh my gosh! And he just signed that contract.
5 touchdowns, and then Kamara goes out on Christmas and rushes for 6 in 4 quarters.
Yeah. Well, you know.
So that wasn't a dig at you. I had that stat in my back pocket since Christmas.
He's been sitting on that for a while.
I have, and it's no fault of you being a Cowboy fan and me wanting to rub any salt in any wounds.
I'm sure they're unrelated. Yeah.
Just have to say it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, fucking yikes.
Yeah, big yikes.
Fucking yikes for my boys, the Vikings.
Yeah, boys. I don't think at any point in that game, before, during, or obviously not after, but the Saints were going to win that game, coming off a loss from the Chiefs.
Coming out
just
hot.
Certain games that playing against the Saints, you're just walking into a buzzsaw, and that was one of them. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Kamara. It was just clicking. How many points did he end up getting in fantasy?
I saw different, because everyone scores different in different leagues, but it was at least 50 in most leagues. I think Miko, who's not in the championship or anything, but still has plays for consolation, he had played Alvin Kamara and he had 50-something points.
So yeah, if you're just playing, if you're just counting his rushing, that is 100. I was looking at his rush yards. Excuse me, not 100. He has 155 rush yards, so that is 51.5 points.
Wow.
Yikes.
Good for him, man. Let that man eat.
Good. Yeah,
he was
for
eating.
Him.
Yeah,
he was destroying.
He was eating. You know who was not eating in Week 16? Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was not eating.
We'll get there.
No, I want to say that
we'll
right now. We're talking about eating and running backs, and I have to throw that there. We may not get there, and that's okay because I don't want to say anything good about the Packers, but I have nothing bad to say, so we should just skip that altogether.
Right.
But, you're right. We'll get there. I do have things to say.
So can I just say real quick, I have no love lost for the Patriots or Tom Brady. I respect both. But I do have to say that Tom Brady took a risk by going to a relatively tepid franchise in the Buccaneers. And this weekend, he just broke their franchise record for passing touchdowns on the air?
Yeah.
You know who held it?
Jameis from last year.
Yeah.
So I kind of respect that. He kind of stuck his neck out, and he's in Tampa Bay, and they've got a playoff berth, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they clinched it with that win. This leads me to my overreaction of the week.
Okay, perfect.
My overreaction of the week is it was never Belichick, it was Brady.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't agree with that, but that's what I've been seeing. That's the overreaction I'm seeing after the loss of the Patriots and the success that Brady is having in Tampa Bay. So yeah, that's my overreaction of the week, which I think is asinine.
I think it is asinine.
It's way easier for a quarterback to go into a system with a decent head coach like Bruce Arians and have success with a team that had a great defense coming in with all these weapons, as opposed to having to start all over. Give Belichick a couple years, and he'll have that team back into contention if he stays there.
You know, he didn't get a Hall of Fame quarterback dropped into his lap.
Right.
Cam Newton is not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No. Do you know who probably is a Hall of Famer, though?
We're not going to do this right now. We're going to get there here in just a sec.
Oh, I want to do
just
this.
a sec. Because we're talking about Saturday. So, yeah, the
I don't
Bucs
want to talk
win.
about Saturday.
The Bucs win, and then, the midday game, the 49ers beat the Cardinals. Fucking yikes.
That was
for
awesome.
Yeah.
Yikes. You know what's wild to me is, so, like, you have a banged-up San Francisco team. Obviously, one of the most banged up in the league right now. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, which everyone talks about Jimmy G being out, and they've got George Kittle back on offense, but the defensive side of the ball, they're hurt too, right? But they played great defense against the Cardinals on Saturday. Like, great defense, getting stop after stop after stop, and it kept them in that game long enough for C.J. Beathard, right? He started to do just enough. That defense cannot be understated in that game.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh is... And as a Raider fan... I was watching a defense, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, this is defense.
They're making plays.
Yeah.
They're actually getting some stops.
It was wild. It was like 3rd and 13, and they wouldn't get it. And I was like, that's wild.
That's nuts. It's not just a gimme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did they say? Defense travels. They got that win on the road. You know. So
Yeah.
Talk about. I mean, the NFC West coming into the season was looking like that division.
It's a scary division.
You know,
yeah.
and it's kind of cooled off. Here in the last half of the season, but it's a good win for the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean they're not making the playoffs. They're already out, but this is a good win. I mean, especially when you're playing a division game, you're like, we want to fuck them.
Yeah,
and they did.
You always want to win your division games,
right?
I don't care if I'm over on the season. I still want to be your dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to make your playoff chances harder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we're not going in a full chronological order of the games, but I just want to now get to the Saturday night game, because here is my now overreaction of the week. Okay. You get rid of Gruden. Just cancel the rest of the 7 years on his contract.
We can't.
You just get rid of him.
We can't, though.
He got this job off of what he did 20 years ago.
Okay, listen, I'm not disagreeing with your overreaction, but we can't. Like, we can't do that. Like, it's not a thing.
No, just do it.
No, you can't do that.
You just get rid of them.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
You get rid of players on they still have a lot of money on their contract all the time.
Yeah. But this is like, now you can start getting into specifics in accounting, like dead cap and like, this and the cap hits and stuff like that.
There's a website called Is Gruden Gone Yet?
Wow.
Yes, I do know
about it.
I
did not know that.
And it counts down how much time he has left, and then it counts how much money he is left owed. And it also counts how much money he has currently earned since you got to the page.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome. I like that.
It's a good page.
Anyways, I think that game really does come down to coaching. So here's this is going to take me maybe like 30 seconds or a minute to get through this, but I have to fucking say this. Okay. There are 3 different types of Raider people. You have your Raider haters, okay? And then the other 2 groups are in the same group, but they're divided. You have your fucking fake or lackadaisical Raider fans, and you have your true fans. I'm in that category, okay? So all I heard after this game was, oh my God, why didn't they put Mariota in? Why is Derek still the starting quarterback? And it's like, are you watching these games? And rarely in any circumstance, in other games we've lost this year, has it been Derek's fault. Derek come back from an injury. Everyone's like, well, he was injured. He shouldn't have been playing. Mariota could have been more mobile and done this and that. And it's like, listen to me, shut the fuck up. He did good against San Diego because they schemed for Derek. We talk about this every week. A quarterback comes in and does well. He would have got absolutely smashed by the fucking Dolphin defense if they had a week to plan for him. That having been said, Raiders go 0-10 on 3rd down, but Derek still put us in a position to win that game twice. On a hobbled groin, and made some great plays. This is on the defense again, and some of the decisions Gruden was making, and not only in the red zone, but at the end of the fucking game. So I'm tired of the Derek Carr fucking hate. You disagree with me, that's fine. Go look at his fucking stats. And for you people that say I want wins, not stats, talk to me about Deshaun. Talk to me about one-ring Aaron Rodgers, who has stats, not wins. Talk to me about those guys before you tell me Derek Carr is a stat, not win guy. Okay, that's it. I'm done. That's it.
He he sounds like me in the peak Tony Romo days. But here's the thing. I don't disagree with you. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Derek Carr is the quarterback. He's going to take a lot of unnecessary criticism when the team's not winning. I don't know. The Raiders, it's like the Raiders should be good. I don't get it. It's an anomaly when I watch them play.
There's a lot, and I don't have the time to get into it like now or any week because it would just take like several hours and fill several books.
We're not a Raiders podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We're not a Raiders podcast. So I'll start my own spin-off. Like it's just going to be called Agreeable. And it's just going to be me talking to myself about the Raiders. That's
Raiders
it.
rant.
Yeah, and I'll talk about the Lakers sometimes to keep it light.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the game. I was frustrated, obviously. This one hurt a lot, but I am very proud of myself. Didn't ruin my night. I didn't get mad, really mad. I had guests over, so I had to be, like, fucking okay. So, it is what it was. Like I said, if we win that game or not, Baltimore won the next day, Raiders eliminated from playoffs. This is the story of the Raiders. Actually, this is the John Gruden story, who always starts off real well and then collapses in the final 7, 6, 8 games of the fucking year.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Let's move on to another fucking game.
All right, perfect. Weird one. Falcons Chiefs.
Oh man. How many ways can the Falcons lose a game in a season?
They're hitting like losing bingo.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you know
think
what?
This is it, like a missed field goal.
I read today, and I watched a video today, and he didn't miss that. I mean, yeah, he missed the kick.
Okay, I was like, what?
But it was tipped.
Oh, was it?
It was tipped.
I thought the wind caught it.
No, one of the Chiefs got a finger on it.
Okay.
So, like, it still missed, but, like, who knows where that ball's going if the Chiefs' defense doesn't get a finger on it. That's still to say they still found a great way to lose that we haven't seen from them yet this year, or I don't know.
I think I'll make a, ways to lose bingo. I'll make one of those and make sure to post it, because, like, they've had to have hit it now. Like, I mean, this is 11 losses, and at least half of those are like, what are you doing?
Well, immediately what stands out to me from the bingo list is obviously everyone's favorite is the onside kick from Dallas. So that stands out.
Yeah.
The giving up the leads is kind of par for the course for the Falcons. That's happened many times. Did you guys see that fucking awful challenge? He challenged an interception that was absolutely not even a fucking interception at the end of that game.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he was challenging. I don't know what was... I mean, I get it. But also, you're going to get the ball back probably because the Chiefs are going to fucking score. You can't stop them. So why risk a timeout?
I don't know.
When you're not absolutely fucking sure you're going to get that overturned.
Well, I don't know. It's just they find ways to lose, and of course it always comes back around to that Super Bowl, okay?
Of course, it always does.
So this would have been his 28th 3 on the year. This would have been his 28th field goal. So full circle, it's a curse. I don't know
put a curse on them.
I don't know what like Indian burial ground the Falcons shit on.
Yeah,
but
this is why you were saying they just need to leave Atlanta.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, it's an overreaction.
Well, you didn't mention the Indian burial ground. Like, now that you throw that in there, now I can get behind this. I can get behind you them leaving Atlanta.
And guys, they were playing the Chiefs.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
You just blew everyone's collective mind in here.
Oh god.
Yeah. Did you just think of this?
I just thought of it.
That's great. I love that quick thinking. I like that. Jesus. Okay, cool.
So Falcons are cursed. That's what it is.
That's what it
Okay,
sounds like.
flip
cursed.
side of this. All right, is this more of a case of the Chiefs being bored waiting for the playoffs? Because we're getting pretty close to the playoffs
I
now.
think the Chiefs are on cruise control.
I would agree. I mean, they have the number 1 seed now.
The last 5 games the Chiefs have played have been one-score games.
Yeah, but I really think they're on cruise control, and I think with like half effort, they're still good enough to barely beat most of the teams in the NFL.
So if the Chiefs lose in the first, well, they get a first-round bye.
So
If the Chiefs lose their first playoff game and they get eliminated, do we now go back and say, oh, they were on cruise control and this didn't, what's the narrative?
of course it's going to be the narrative.
That's going to be the narrative,
100%.
but we put too much stock in what happens just before, I think, in my opinion. I view these games as kind of isolated incidents. Now, I think
But
trends
this hasn't been
exist.
isolated for
Right.
Kansas City.
I think trends exist, and this is an example. I think they are just like, let's stay healthy. Let's we can beat teams going half speed, which they can. Which, yeah, you're kind of playing a dangerous game there, but I just think they're so good, and I just think it just takes Patrick Mahomes deciding, like, hey guys, it's on now. Like, we're on now, and because I've seen them do it so many times. in the middle of a game, where they look like a completely different team from one half to the other. So I don't know, man. I think the Chiefs, in my opinion, are the scariest team in the NFL still, and they haven't looked it over the last month. But it's like when you're carrying the big stick, you know what I mean? Like, and you're carrying the big stick, you don't have to like flaunt it. That's how I feel about the Chiefs. They know they're the best. They've got the most speed. They've got the best quarterback, and the defense is good enough. So that's my opinion.
Everybody's trying to take down the champ.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
So
they're
this
playing,
makes it even worse because
hard.
every team they play, they're getting that team's best shot.
Right.
And they're still just
and yeah.
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 So that's what's...
And I fucking hate it. There's only one other team I've seen do that and win the title, and it wasn't even in this sport. Because you talk about trends, you talk about teams that are getting hot coming to the playoffs. That's what you want, right? The Ravens right now, they're hot. So that's a team to keep an eye on in the playoffs.
Right.
Okay, the Colts and the Titans, they're trending down. Like they're not as hot as they were like 2-3 weeks ago. So the Chiefs, they've been winning, right? I mean, they only had the one loss, but they haven't been winning pretty.
Right.
And so the other team I'm talking about is the 2000-2001 Lakers, right?
Right.
Finished the season like 3-11,
right.
and then went 15-1 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe they have the talent to do it in Kansas City. I hate it. I hate it. That's it. The whole time you were talking, I was agreeing with you, but the look on my fucking face was just,
yeah. They're
Fantastic.
They're healthy.
Yeah.
They're gonna be crazy in the playoffs.
Yeah. So like, I mean, we get in. You're talking about some teams that are trending down and up. The Browns.
The Browns are trending down.
Trending down. The Jets here are on a 2-game win streak right now. Don't let the Jets get hot. Don't let it. We're talking about streaks. Don't let the Jets get hot.
Here's the thing about the Jets. The Jets beat the Rams, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And then they're like, "Well, fuck!" They took themselves out of the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
Exactly.
And the Jets were like, "You know what? Fuck it. Double down. We're gonna beat the Browns now."
Yeah.
And that's what they fucking did.
Yeah. They played themselves. The Jets, to me, it's just as a franchise. I know it's like your job is to win games, and so I understand that from a player perspective. But it's like, hey, how about we did that at the beginning of the season? Because now we can get like one of the best quarterback talents since Andrew Luck. And you guys played yourself out of it.
I read a report today, actually a couple hours ago it came out, that ownership of the Jets has indicated that they are going to let Adam Gase go after the season. Like, it's been said now.
Is it an Adam Gase thing, or is it a personnel thing? Like like the GM? And
It's a culture thing, and where does the culture start?
It's a culture thing for sure. I mean, it's hard to say where it starts, but it works its way up and down.
Right.
So it's hard if you have at least one of those pieces that it honestly is just toxic, it spreads. So it makes it hard for any kind of continuity. They have Flacco and they have Darnold and they have all these different pieces trying to work together.
Yeah.
So I know it's some injuries that make Darnold not able to play some of these games, but like I've seen him do some amazing things. I don't think he's a bad quarterback.
No, I don't think he's a bad quarterback.
I don't even think he is like. I think he's what Baker Mayfield was last year. Like, he just needs a better coach.
Yeah, I think
because we've seen what that's done for Baker.
Exactly. He's been amazing this year. Well, mine is this game, but damn.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, the asterisk on that game. Okay, all 4 of his starting receivers, COVID.
That is ridiculous. That's nuts.
But the problem,
he did go ham with the tight ends that game.
Yeah, but also he threw like way too much. When you were down your receivers and you're a running football team, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't throw that much anyways. Now you really shouldn't throw, and you're not running the ball with the league's top 3 running offense.
Yeah. All I'm saying is from an organizational perspective, no one's going to remember a Week 16 win against the Browns. But
I'm going to remember a Week 15 win against the Rams.
Sure, yeah, but it's like, I don't understand what the Jets are doing. I haven't understood what the Jets are doing.
I think they've made a statement, right? That Darnold's their guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
right?
Sure.
They didn't need to go get Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Now,
well,
they're not going to Josh Rosen him.
They've ruined him. Like, he's a good quarterback. Like, I'm an alumni from WSU. I've seen Darnold play in person, some Pac-12 football. I think he's a good quarterback. I think that the Jets have ruined him. I think both parties would have been better. I mean, now they can't because they're not in the running anymore. But I think both parties would have been better parting ways. I would have
much
loved
like
to see
Philadelphia right now with Carson Wentz.
Yes, absolutely. I would have loved to see Darnold go play for, I don't know, let's say, let's throw a team out there that could take a good quarterback. I don't know.
The Colts.
The Colts, yeah. But anyways, they play themselves out of it. The Jets are going to jet, just like the Knicks are going to Knick. Yes, I'm conflating 2 organizations.
I don't know, man.
No, it's fine. They have the whole New York fucking area. Because
Yeah.
we were talking a few weeks ago, Giants, Jets, Knicks, like Mets. it's like, well.
I mean, you do say the Jets are going to Jets, and they do, but the Browns also Jets themselves.
True.
That's 2 Jetsings in a
That's
row.
The Jets twice.
Yeah, but for the Browns, honestly, I don't really care about the Browns, but like it's cool to see it. They're 10-5, good for them. Like, and honestly, like again, I don't really care for Baker, but like also good for him. He responded, and they put up a good season this year.
Well, it was two things that happened, and that was one of them that ruined my Week 17 dream matchup. Right? Everybody wanted to see Pittsburgh lose again to Indianapolis, and they wanted to see, obviously, the Browns roll over the Jets for that Week 17 for the division matchup, right? Because no one gave when we had our predictions at the beginning of the season, it was, is it going to be Pittsburgh, is it going to be Baltimore?
Right.
No one had fucking Cleveland, in there, and it was going to happen, and then now it's not, and I'm very upset. Very upset about it.
Yeah.
Yikes. I mean, but yeah, talking about, Steelers and the Colts, that was quite a game. Quite a game. They were up. They were up 21 to what? 21-7.
24-7.
They're up 21-7.
Same thing.
At the half. So you're just like, okay, like that looks like a big score.
But
it's not though.
It's really not.
It wasn't because I watched that game in its entirety, and essentially they came back so fucking fast.
Yep.
It happened like bam.
Yep.
And then I read a report today that said that the Colts knew all the plays that the Steelers were running in the first half. So Big Ben called the plays in the second half.
Well, okay. Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
What I was going to chalk it up to is Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach,
making adjustments.
So it was just like, you have this good team with a fantastic defense, but for me, it just came down to coaching.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin is an amazing coach.
Well, they definitely tightened it up on defense, right?
This guy is so young as a coach. Mm-hmm. Like Mike Tomlin is super young. He can be there for like 20
and he's
years.
already legendary.
What is he like 40? Like 42?
I think,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the adjustments were made, especially on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. Coaching does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially what I heard was that fucking they knew all the plays they were running in the first half, so Ben started calling plays in the second. And then you saw how quick it just turned into like, hey, remember when our offense was like good before everyone was like, this is sus?
Yeah.
And it was. It looked good. They looked great in that second half.
And you know how that defense is. We know how good that defense is. So
it can be.
They can suffocate, and that's what they did in the second half. They held him to 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, he really was Noodle Arm Rivers in that second half.
In that one, it was not working out as much.
I think Tomlin's great. He's a great coach. Pittsburgh has a good team, but I think we cannot overlook the fact that Juju stopped dancing. I think that was it. That was it. To do with it.
Yeah, Tomlin's like, I'm going to talk to him.
No, it just makes me laugh.
No, listen to me, because you're wrong. Okay, he did not stop dancing. He might have stopped dancing on logos before the game, but they were playing at home, so he could have danced on a logo and have been fine. But he did make a little dance in the locker room after the game because they won the title, and it's like, oh, whoop-de-fucking-do, dude, you had the 1 seed locked up, and then you started dancing on logos. Like, why the fuck are you dancing?
Dancing now, yeah.
That shit pisses me off in any sport. When guys are like fucking celebrating like that, and it's like, you won a regular season game. Dude, get your eyes on the fucking prize. The Chiefs aren't doing that shit.
Nobody else has been there on that team. Nobody else has been there except for Big Ben.
Yeah.
Nobody else has been to the big game.
Right.
So I'm not. I'll be honest. You sound a little bit get off my lawn-ish. I know what you mean. I don't completely disagree with you, but it's like
I'm old school.
The NFL is hard. On any given snap, your career could be over. You want to dance, cool. It's not my style, but like it doesn't really piss me off. I guess what I'm saying.
Oh no, I'm full.
It's just
pissed.
one of those jabs.
Right.
It's one of those things that clearly gets under people's skin.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it cursed him. It cursed him.
Yeah. My question is, it sounds ridiculous saying it because what are they like 11-4 Steelers?
No, they lost 3. So they're what?
They're 12-3.
Yeah.
Weird question, but are they a dark horse? Because I feel like they lost some steam there at the end, and like they lost a little bit of their shine. But now here we are at the end of the season. They got a nice little win under their belt.
Does this turn them into a
dark
dark
horse? Are they
horse
kind of
team?
a dark horse? Yeah.
No, because like you said on the earlier, I just don't think that anybody can beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
That's kind of where
and I
we're at,
hate that that's where we're at. Like usually this is like a basketball conversation where it's like, oh, like yeah, no one's beating the Warriors when they had KD and Steph and Clay and Draymond.
Yeah.
I don't like that for football. I don't like that but that's where you're at, and we're witnessing greatness. I have to step back as a Raider fan and somehow have to objectively say, like, I am witnessing greatness.
Unquestionably, we are.
With Patrick Mahomes.
And he's not even at his peak yet.
No.
Which is scary.
It is scary because I'm in a division with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
For God, for like 10 more fucking years.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, on to the fucking next one.
Yikes. I mean, I don't know if there's any other games, like, really the only other two games that even mattered
Seattle
was Seattle and LA.
That's a big game.
That was for the NFC West.
Yeah.
That was for, the division title, which Seattle hasn't had in a couple years now, since 2016.
Well, a lot. So that game ends, and so much changes. Okay, because first of all, like before getting into any playoff implications, Jared Goff broke his thumb. Like, he is probably not going to play next.
It's not good. Yeah.
So that sucks. But also, that game was lost when he threw it right to Quandre Diggs.
He looked like the receiver.
Yeah, I watched the play over fucking Troy Aikman and Joe Buck were like trying to decide they couldn't figure out for like 5 minutes where he was trying to throw it. I was able to recognize pretty quick what he was doing. He was leading a receiver. But he just fucking lit him too far. And Quandre Diggs was like, oh my god, like, thank you, Merry Christmas. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is a present.
Yeah.
A gift.
Yeah.
It's for me.
Mine.
That's, in my opinion, that's when the game was lost. Because then Goff's confidence was shaken. And then there was a lot of offense in that game. So they get to halftime and it's tied. And then, lack of confidence for Goff comes in. They can't do anything on offense. Seahawks start putting it together.
Yeah.
And put the dagger in with that last touchdown to your boy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could look good. This could be the start of, the late season hotness. And this honestly is what Russ and Pete Carroll have been doing the last, since they've been together. They are outstanding in December.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So, this squad going forward, it could bode very well for them. They could be on that hot streak. They could be going, very, very well. And, they're finishing up with the 49ers, who are coming off a win against the Cardinals, so we'll see.
Right, and then, I don't know if we said this already, but this clinches the division for them.
Exactly, yeah.
So they got a playoff berth, division title, and then they still have a shot at the one seed.
They can still be the one seed. They still
have a shot, and we'll get, because that's what we're going to get to here. We're not going over all the games, because we want to get to what's going to happen in Week 17, right? We want to talk about some of the implications, who needs to win, who needs to lose, and so just to continue off that train of thought, right? The Packers play the Bears next week. All right. Now, the Bears, one of those teams that's on a hot streak.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitch Trubisky is playing the best football of his career, and it's wild. Okay, because we were watching the game, and Mika was over, and he was like, "Hey, I thought they benched Mitch for Nick Foles," and I was like, "Yeah." And then they benched Nick Foles for Mitch Trubisky. That's just the game we play. And if they can beat the Packers, 1,000 things happen.
So we just dive into some implications?
Yeah, let's
now?
do that.
Yeah,
let's do that because we don't need to talk about the Monday night game. Everyone knew Bills were going to win.
Yikes.
And my overreaction of the week kind of addressed that already.
Yeah. My only thing to say is I saw a post. It was just the Bills are like, wow, this is what that feels like, and then the Patriots are like, wow, this is what that feels like.
Yeah. So if the Bears beat the Packers and the Seahawks beat the 49ers, they are the one seed.
And then New Orleans has to lose.
Right. New Orleans has to lose as well. So it's crazy because a lot of times I think this is one of the few years where it happens where they don't know for sure what the seeding is going to be.
It's a 3-body problem.
Especially because you add that seventh spot, that third wild card.
I forgot about that.
So and then if the Bears win, they're in.
Yep.
The Bears are in.
So So Seattle has to, number one, take care of business.
Right.
Seattle has to win.
Secure the bag,
get that bread. And then New Orleans and Green Bay have to lose for Seattle to get the one seed. But those three are fluid right now. Of course, Packers have the biggest hold on that. They are the one seed, and they have to beat the Bears, who they have beat up on
forever.
For decades.
But it's also a division game.
Exactly.
Right. Throw that in there. Throw that in there.
Especially with Chicago wins and they're in, like you said.
Right, and Chicago is playing, hot football right now, but the Packers also are the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. I say this every week, even though I fucking hate him. He's a bad man.
Yeah.
He looked great against the Titans.
Yeah.
Their defense actually looked good against the Titans, but I want to attribute a lot of that to the fucking snow.
I'm going to attribute a lot of that to the snow. Basically, they sold out to stop the run, and they were just like, hey, we're going to let our corners, play this game and, make Tannehill beat us. Because, this is our environment.
Right.
This is where we live.
And Tannehill, he couldn't do that because that offensive line is built to make paths for Derrick Henry. That offensive line is not built for pass protection.
Right.
So every time he dropped back, it didn't fucking matter. He was under pressure every time. He threw a couple picks in that game. because the pressure was bearing down. So
Yeah.
that's concerning, and it's concerning for all the NFC teams if Green Bay locks up the 1 seed, because then they have to go to Lambeau.
Right. In December. In January.
In January.
Yeah.
That sounds like the easiest thing in the world for Green Bay.
Yeah.
To play in their stadium with all of this snow. It's going to be ridiculous. So
yeah.
Yikes.
To me, and I understand all the scenarios you guys are talking about, but for me, it's like watching Aaron Rodgers for years and seeing the way that he's throwing it right now. I think it's a done deal. I think Packers are going to maintain their 1 seed. Now, what will happen in the playoffs? I think that's where it gets interesting, because Aaron Rodgers is great, but that team is not, in my opinion. So it'll be fun to see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree that the team is. I mean, it's always been just essentially Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Davante Adams obviously is
he's a beast.
a fucking stud.
Yeah.
And then they have some weapons at the running back position.
They have a lot of people playing above their level, in my opinion. And I think that's kind of indicative of Aaron Rodgers.
He elevates everyone around him.
Yeah, and I think that's just a sign of greatness. He's someone that elevates the talent level of everyone around him. And we'll see what they can do.
I think that, I mean, the NFC is just so, because you flip it over to the AFC and it's like, okay, yeah, they know we're going to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
In the NFC, it's a little bit different to me. Yes, the Packers are great. Yes, they probably have to go through Lambeau. But you have great teams in the NFC. You have your Seahawks.
I can see the Seahawks winning. Yeah.
You have the Saints.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you have Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, who I've said all year needed to, clinch 2 or 1, because Tom Brady's not going to go on the road 3 times and win. He's not. That team's not doing that.
Years old. Yeah. To me, the NFC is a perfect example of any given Sunday. You do have teams that are definitely have separated themselves from the rest of the conference, but with regard to the playoffs, any given Sunday, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's what's beautiful about football.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love Week 17. I just love Week 17. It's like, I know we're gonna get there, but it's all division games and it just changes so much for the entire season.
Well then, so right now as it stands, right, the Bears are in that 7th seed.
Yeah.
And then it's the Rams and the Buccaneers above them. Now the Rams can get eliminated if they lose this week, and if the Cardinals win. So the Cardinals are number 8. Okay, so that 5, 6, 7, 8 is all very fluid, and
Nope.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not doing what? Oh wait, he's looking at the standings. He can see Dallas is number 9.
Yeah.
But that's not a thing.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
no. Okay, no, we're talking about standings. We're talking about standings. Okay?
But just for everyone listening, this is different, okay? Because Dallas wouldn't be playing for a wild card. They would be playing for a division title, as would the Giants, as would the Redskins. Washington football team.
Don't you dare. All right, fine. We will not talk about it.
Thank you.
We're not going to talk about it.
No, we're talking about it.
No,
You just
we're
didn't
not
want me to
gonna-
include
we're
it in
not
the
gonna
wild
talk about
card conversation. I do want to talk about the NFC
okay.
East.
That's very good.
They don't deserve it.
I want you to break down the NFC East for us right now, and I know you have a pretty good handle on what's going on in there
just
right
fart
now.
in the mic. That'd
Okay.
be about it.
Okay, Washington football team. They win, they're in. Okay, because they have beaten the Cowboys twice. They have lost to the Eagles twice. Or, excuse me, they've lost to the Giants twice. But they win, they're in. 7-9. That's it.
And they play the Eagles.
And they play the Eagles. Okay, so they've already beat the Eagles once before. The Eagles are already eliminated, so it's not like anything matters. But, so that's how it breaks down for Washington football team. For the Cowboys have to beat the Giants and have the Washington football team lose, and then they would make it in at 7-9.
Trash.
The Giants can make it in at 6-10. They can make it in at because they're 5-10 right now. Oh my God, it's just so weird to look at this. So the Giants can make it in at 6-10 because they've already beaten the Washington football team twice. So
they hold the tiebreaker.
So they would beat Dallas, and they would have the same record. They would both be 6-10, but they would have a better record head-to-head and conference division. They would have a better record. So they can.
So we can have a 6-10 playoff team.
Yes.
And not just like a wild card.
It's gross.
A fucking division.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Fucking
and the only thing I'll
dumpster
say on the Cowboys, and you can honestly extend this to all the teams in the NFC East, is they don't deserve to make the playoffs, because to me it's like, what's the use? So you can say that you made the playoffs in 2020. The organization, not just the team, not just the players on the field. The organization is in disarray, and there needs to be wholesale changes made, because it's something that you've seen for multiple decades.
Are you just talking about the NFC East as a whole?
You can extend this to most of the teams, but as a Cowboys fan, I'm speaking to the Cowboys. They have ridden mediocrity. They have maximized popularity given their mediocrity, and
America's team.
They need wholesale changes. I'm of the ilk that saw the Cowboys in the '90s, so I know what Cowboys greatness looks like, and this ain't it. And I'm super tired of it.
This ain't it, fam.
Super tired of it.
I'll say this. We always talk about how no one's going to remember the score of this game or, their record. This is absolutely a season when it doesn't fucking matter who comes out of this division. We are going to say, yeah, they were fucking 6-10.
Right.
That division was a dumpster fire all season. I'm going to remember that.
You're going to remember that because it's going to be one of 3 teams to do it. Seattle did it first at 7-9. Carolina did it. They were 7-8-1. So now it's going to be another team to do it.
It's going to be either a 7-9 or a 6-10.
Yep.
It's trash.
Insane.
Cancel the NFC East.
All right, so
let's flip to the AFC.
Perfect.
Flip to the AFC.
Thank you.
Yeah. So no, I guess this isn't present personal either, because honestly, this is a fucking intriguing. This is something that needs to be talked about. It really does.
It could be something that's never happened before.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty hyped too. I mean, what do I got, fucking Kyle? I got nothing. Your team has a chance to make it in the playoffs at fucking 7-9. I'm like, hey, I'm playing the AFC where there's 5 fucking teams that are 10-5 right now.
Ugh, the Cowboys are a bunch of clowns on a fucking flaming stagecoach wagon, just fucking burning down the road.
Pretty good visual.
And everyone enjoys watching the chaos.
All right, so the AFC. I had just said it. 5 teams, 10-5. Okay, we know the number 1 seed for the Chiefs. Locked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
That's it.
Okay, the Bills and Pittsburgh will be playing for... Well, no, they're not playing because I heard that Tomlin's going to rest his starters in Week 17.
Yeah.
He's going to start Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
So
they're not even playing for the 2nd seed.
So they don't really care. But
the Bills will probably take that.
Yeah, I think without the 1 seed, I think the there's not that much of a gap between the 2 seeds.
It's all about matchups. And right now, no one knows what the fuck...
That's what
the rest of the conference is going to look like.
That's what I was going to say. If everything stays as it is, Pittsburgh would be playing Baltimore.
Oof.
And I don't know if they want to do that.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Well, let's talk about that, because we know that could happen, but it might not, because you have the Titans, who right now are 10-5. They're leading their division because of a tiebreaker with Indianapolis, who is also 10-5. The Baltimore Ravens, 10-5. The Cleveland Browns, 10-5. The Indianapolis Colts, 10-5.
Wow.
So, with all that said, the Colts are on the outside looking in. They're at 8, looking at that 7. So, what needs to happen for them is they need to win, and they need Baltimore to lose, something like that.
Goodness, it's just a mess.
It's crazy.
Right here. So, what do you think is?
No, actually, we're mistaken. We are mistaken. They need to win, and they need a loss from either the Dolphins, the Browns, or the Ravens.
I think that's favorable.
Because then that would put them at 11-5, and then drop them down to 10-6. Any of the others teams.
Yep. So they need help. The Colts
need some help.
But it's not.
I think the rest of those teams.
It's not a Hail Mary.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, because they have 3 chances of a team to lose.
Right.
Right. It's not like this specific team needs to lose. It's one of 3 teams. And then I think the rest of the teams in the 6, 7, or 5, 6, and 7 spots, they win in it. They're winning in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, let's talk about some seeds. What do you think is optimal for Buffalo? They're the 2 seed. What do you think is optimal for them to make it to Kansas City? Who do you think is a good matchup for the wild card round?
I think if Buffalo played the Dolphins.
Ooh.
I think that's a favorable matchup. And we're gonna preview that next week.
I was gonna say, they're just gonna be back to back.
That's gonna tell the tale, because the Bills are another one of those teams that's on a hot streak right now, and they have a good defense, and Josh Allen has just, still in my mind an MVP candidate. He's probably not gonna win it, but he's an MVP candidate, and if they can beat the Dolphins next week, depending on how everything else shakes out, that could put them in a spot to play the Dolphins the very next week.
Yeah. I think this might be a controversial hot take. I don't know. I don't think it is, but I think the Buffalo Bills are a little bit of a fool's gold. I think they've benefited from a relatively soft schedule, and I think we'll see. I think we'll see that play out in the playoffs. At the same time, I'm happy because it's like I know I have a lot of friends that are really legit like Bills fans and have been since they were perpetual bottom feeders in the league. So this is awesome and it's fun for them. But I think they're fool's gold. I don't think they are as good as their record says they are. But
You really don't.
They don't.
Okay.
Break it down.
Well, the Bills have played a lot of good teams this year. Okay. The Jets. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
They did play the Jets twice.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm just fucking around. Okay. They play the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
They won. They beat the Rams. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Titans. Oh no, the Titans beat them.
Yep.
They got beat by the Chiefs. They beat the Seahawks. They lost on a Hail Murray to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
They played a good 49er team. That team is good. I know what everyone says.
What was their most
They
impressive
beat the Steelers.
road victory?
They beat the Steelers.
Because a lot of those came at home.
The road victory, I want to say, was they went into Seattle, didn't they? No, I was in Buffalo.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I was like, that was in Buffalo.
I just again I could eat some crow on this, but I'm saying I think that they're fool's gold.
In the season this year, I don't think home advantage really means anything.
Yeah, but
Well,
travel.
especially for a place like Seattle.
But with respect to travel, right, and all the restrictions with COVID and the West Coast team coming to the East Coast and all that stuff.
It's still, the travel's the only thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like I just pointed out, like, Seattle's 12th man. They don't have that this year.
Right.
But the traveling aspect, I can see what you're saying. That's probably the advantage there.
Right.
But, okay, I like it. That's why we have you here, to make these takes.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to disagree with you fully, but I'm not going to agree with you either. Like, I think the Bills are a good team.
You're like going to almost agree with him.
Maybe.
Almost. Okay, that's
Hey, and we've come full circle.
Hey,
Don't make it weird.
Hey, they have merch. Get some
Oh,
merch.
sorry. Is there anything we haven't talked about that needs to be addressed?
I don't think so.
Okay. So is it that time?
I think it's that time.
It's that time.
Everyone's favorite segment, Hot Route.
Hot route.
All right.
Blue 17! Blue 17!
I don't. What is hot route?
Hot route! Red 7, red 7, red 7! Hot route!
That's what we call a sack lunch. Nom, 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 nom.
Red 7.
All right, perfect. I'm going to come up with a couple of these on the fly.
Oh.
All right, so you have said this at multiple times. You love it. It's one of your favorite things, I'm sure.
Oh, wait.
Hi?
Wait.
Dude, I'm getting into a groove right now.
Wow, your groove is over. For a second. It's on pause.
He threw off my groove.
Your groove's on pause. Your groove's on pause.
Sorry.
I have
sorry.
some things.
You've thrown off the opposing
I'm sorry. I have some things I have some stats I wanted to read out before we get to hot route.
What do you want?
I forgot about them.
What do you want?
Okay, maybe it's just one. Okay, the Packers are the first team ever to record a game with no punts and no penalties. That happened this weekend.
Wow.
That's a weird one.
Yes, so I wanted. I knew I had something, and I'm sorry I interrupted your flow.
Birth of a segment. Okay, right before Hot Routes, we do weird stats of the week.
Cool, a new segment. Look at that. Weird stats of the week. We're gonna need more than one.
Yeah.
But that's a good one.
Weird stat of the week.
Okay,
I
weird
like
stat.
that.
Weird stat.
Weird
That's
stat of the
good.
week.
Wow.
No punts, no penalties.
That is very strange.
It's the first time
cool.
ever.
That's cool.
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Hot
That
route.
is. It made me say that's weird. So that's weird. I like.
There it is. And there it is.
And that punter earned a paycheck. And he's like,
Straight
sweet.
up, he did nothing, and he was like, "It's
Sweet.
fucking cold out.
Yeah.
I don't want to."
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some nice jackets.
Good for him, man.
They look real warm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Back into the groove. All right,
All right.
my groove is back.
Hey.
So there are 5 10-5 teams in the AFC.
Yes.
Which one is the most suspect? So we have
I know who they are.
the Titans,
Titans.
the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Browns, and the Colts. Who's the most suspect? Either of you.
The Titans.
The Titans are the most suspect.
Titans are
The
the
one
most
who
suspect.
has like the highest seeded 10-5
Yeah, they're
team.
the highest seeded 10-5 team, but they're sus.
I would not say the Titans because they actually have an identity. I would say...
And then you don't work in Lambeau, apparently.
Sure, but I would say the Colts. I think a lot more of their games came down to like the last couple drives. You know, like I don't really get like an identity from them,
From the Colts,
from the Colts.
their identity is almost similar to Miami's, which is their fucking defense. You interchange those two. Indianapolis and Miami has the 1 and 2 ranked defense in the league.
Yeah, you're right. I think I probably just meant offensively. Like the Titans. Again, it's easy to shut them down because if you're able to contain King Henry, then they're pretty much done. But that's the thing.
That's why they're sus to me.
You have to be able to contain King Henry.
The Packers are able to do it with a fucking suspect defense.
Sure. But yeah, I just think for me, it'd be the Colts. And honestly, I don't trust Phillip Rivers. I just don't.
Everyone here that's been listening knows how I feel about Phillip Rivers. But
Yeah.
I'm doubling down.
Hall of
Titans are my
If you're
sus.
down or up,
Hall of Fame quarterback Phillip Rivers.
If you're down or up by one score,
You're not gonna retry
by
that.
one score with
Don't
2 minutes left in the game, and Phillip Rivers starts trotting it onto the field, hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butt.
Something's about to happen.
I'm really upset. I want to hear you guys argue for 10 minutes.
For the record, I just don't believe that Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
This can be an extra addendum to we're gonna have to
Extras.
Yeah.
this can be an extra, but it's gonna be like a 10-15 minute extra.
Like bonus material.
Yeah, this is bonus
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the extended edition.
Yeah. All right.
All
What
right.
else you got?
All right. So you have to choose. Okay, which team from the NFC East do you want to take the division?
Of the ones that are still alive?
Yes.
So I can't pick the Eagles?
You can't pick they're eliminated already, okay? So that would be your pick?
No, I won't. I mean, yes, I'm an Eagle sympathizer.
Why?
I have a lot of friends that are Eagle fans. Like, I have a lot of friends that are Eagle
Name
fans.
7.
I don't even have 7 friends. 2 of them are in this room. I just don't even have that many people that I call friends. I'm just kidding. I don't know 7 fucking Eagle fans. I know 3.
That's not a lot.
Okay, look. It's not the Eagles.
It's not the
It's
Eagles,
not the
okay.
Eagles. And I'm sorry, Kyle, it's not the Cowboys.
I would say the Giants. I do not think the Cowboys deserve to make the playoffs.
I want Washington to get in there. After all the turmoil that's been going on there, Ron Rivera having cancer and beating it and doing chemo during the season and coaching this team, Alex Smith, who's going to play next week, probably comeback player of the year. Like, it's very inspiring. I would love to see that team get in.
It makes me so uncomfortable the fact that he's playing. I'm happy for him.
I do
I'm
get
so
squeamish.
uncomfortable.
Every time the pocket collapses, I'm like,
Yeah. Don't do it, Alex. Don't do it. But I'm proud of you. I'll go with the Giants just because I had to pick someone, and I don't want to pick the Cowboys. Just trash.
I can sympathize because everyone's like, don't you want your team to make the playoffs? Like, no, I don't want the Raiders to make the playoffs. They don't fucking need to be there.
What I told my brothers is that it's not that they're losing. The way that they're losing is just so completely disrespectful, right? To like the fans, to the uniform. They're just disrespectful in their shittiness.
Not as disrespectful as the Falcons, though. Let's be real. Could be worse.
Ugh.
Could be worse. What do you think? I mean, I know this is hot route for us, but I want to know who you,
Yeah.
Ed.
I didn't think about it, to be honest. It was
Good.
just a question
On the
for
spot.
you.
Let's go.
Perfect. What did I ask? But no, I think it's the Washington football team. I think it would be good for them. I don't know the last time they did have the division title. So it's been a little bit, and Alex Smith deserves it. Him coming back and playing has just been outstanding. It's been just it's literally movie-esque. A movie could be made out of what he went
and
through.
then getting beating the Steelers, giving them their first loss of the year.
Yeah. And that sent them into their own spiral,
Right.
So I definitely think the Washington football team, and also it should be renamed to the Alex Smith Comeback Player of the Year award.
Yeah, I mean,
I can be into that.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've kind of always low-key liked Alex Smith because he's just been a guy that's just always just grinded. And he's a good college quarterback, and then he kind of got hosed going to the 49ers because that's when the 49ers were just absolute dumpster divers. And he's just always kind of been bounced around, but he's always just kind of stuck to it. And it's cool to see him, I wouldn't say their success, but he's just doing what he's always done, and he's just grinding. And he's kind of turned around their season just a little bit here at the end. So good for him. Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. And I don't have another hot route.
Okay, good. I guess we're saving our brains for if you guys are dual listeners, you listen to both sports and entertainment. We got a hot one for you coming out on Friday, and that's I think where all our brains are all right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Playoff football, the way we've been talking about it today, can just be so intense to think about. It's draining. Talk about these scenarios. Talk about hot teams, cold teams, teams that you don't think can be beat, and contenders and stuff like that. Like, it's draining, but God, does it get me excited for Week 17.
Yeah.
Week 17 is going to be great.
Week 17 is a gift.
Yeah.
This time of the year, it's always like Charlie from It's Always Sunny, and you've got like the wires all behind you, and he's like trying to explain, like, it's crazy. That's always what this time of year is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess while I'm here, I'll just say Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes.
Really happy to see 2020 in the rearview mirror. So.
Yes. So hopefully you guys stay safe on New Year's Eve. Don't make any bad decisions. All right. I know Uber's costs pretty expensive on New Year's Eve, but also DUIs are way more expensive.
Absolutely.
So don't do that. Don't drive drunk, you fucking clowns.
Just don't go anywhere. Just quarantine
Wear a mask.
with your booze
Yeah.
in your house.
Get home, get dressed, stay home and get drunk.
Yeah.
That's what I do now anyway.
Go to bed at 12:01. Like, you don't even need to fucking party all night. Just be. What we're saying is be responsible, right? This year has been rough, and I know we're taking a little bit more time to kind of go into this, but I think it's a big deal that we recognize that, like, this year is coming to an end. We can't expect everything to change with the snap of the fingers, but we can be safe and we can have a different mentality coming into the new year.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
You guys be safe.
Had fun, guys.
And this has been Almost Agreeable.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Almost Agreeable. You can catch new episodes every Wednesday and Friday. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Almost Agreeable.